You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
I missed last night's pay-per-view, but obviously I'm reading the uproar from everyone online about it. A lot of people weren't fans of the finish, and historically, if you look at it and you compare it to other historical pieces, you may say that was the wrong finish last night. I can't tell you you're wrong, but I am going to take a wait-and-see attitude with this finish. I mean, we'll see what exactly they do. This week's Brock bit is going to be pretty fast because they didn't do much with Brock Lesnar tonight. He opened up the show, Kev. He walked down during a John Cena, John Laurinaitis, Triple H segment. And wait, was Cena in the ring for the opening segment? No, actually, I don't believe he was.
No, he was not.
It was John Laurinaitis and Triple H. And Triple H is essentially saying, and right now I'm in the middle of purchasing a home, and during the negotiations, I felt the same way Triple H did. We made you a fair offer, and Brock, the segment culminated with Brock breaking the arm of Triple H. And I think this is going to be the last we see of Brock for the short-term future at least. Kev, what were your thoughts on this opening segment?
I thought it was a really hot opening segment. I liked what they did. Okay, you done cracking your brew?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
You're supposed
this segment, I would say what this segment was sponsored by, but Coke doesn't pay me.
Nice. Subtle reference there. Well played, sir. Well played. If you don't understand that reference, you're going to have to go watch some UFC footage, ladies and gentlemen. Really, I thought that this is an interesting way to keep Triple H relevant in this promotion once again, because now, this is going to trigger another fight. Triple H is going to have to get back in the ring again, but I liked it. I think everything played really well together. John Laurinaitis felt like he was backed into a corner a little bit last week. Triple H steps up as COO and says, you know what, ultimately this falls on my shoulders, and this isn't okay with me. I don't like it. And he asserted himself. He put his foot down, and Lesnar mauled him. I really kind of wasn't expecting him to do that, but I really like this because, like I've talked about over the last several weeks, I've had my doubts as to whether WWE can make me believe that Brock Lesnar is going to be a badass and whether this is going to be a different kind of badass from what we saw in his earlier run, or are they going to try to go back and recreate the magic? They're not going back and recreating the magic, ladies and gentlemen. This is all brand new territory. This is really raw, gritty stuff. I like it. I really like it a lot. Say what you will about Brock Lesnar's promo skills in the ring. It's good enough. You don't need Paul Heyman. You don't need a manager there because it's not going to be Brock Lesnar talking or a manager talking that puts Lesnar over. It's his attitude in the ring and what he does and his physical presence bearing down on you. That is in full force right now, and I am just extremely loving it. Triple H put up a game fight, for as much as he could, but in the end, Lesnar breaks his arm with a Kimura. And that's where we're going.
I was reading something today online about another wrestling company, and sometimes when people have expectations and the company doesn't essentially meet their expectations of what they're going to get, sometimes people get disappointed initially. And World Wrestling Entertainment may not have the best track record of delivering on these big moments. I mean, let's face it. I mean, they know next year WrestleMania will outdo business-wise what this year's WrestleMania did. And for the foreseeable future, as long as they plan it correctly, until we reach a certain proliferation point, breaking point, essentially they're going to draw and gross more money each year. WrestleMania has morphed into not quite the Super Bowl per se, but let's be honest. Enough wrestling fans have been quote unquote turned away, no longer in the product, that this is the one time a year where you can watch and enjoy wrestling. WrestleMania is that spectacle, right. Is the big event. As compared to the Super Bowl, Well, the Super Bowl has a little bit for everybody. You have the commercials, you have the halftime act. That's not WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the big gathering of wrestling fans. So in the middle, sometimes they kind of flounder because, quite frankly, they're not getting the eyes, they're not getting the audience, and you kind of sometimes. I've tried to voice it, without giving the company a blank check, because the company drops the ball on a lot of material, and unfortunately a lot of fans go into it expecting them to drop the ball and saying, if they do this, they won't drop the ball. It's just an unfortunate occurrence that we have in current today professional wrestling.